Well, guys, it is that time again. It is World Download Day. So be sure, if you are a supporter of any tier, whether that's on Patreon, Twitch, or Discord Premium, be sure to get your World Download all on Discord. So if you're interested in how that works, all you gotta do is go to Discord, check out the FAQ channel, and all of that should be worked out there. I would love for you guys to download the world and test it out and, have fun. That's what it's all about. So, of course, let's get on with today's video. So last episode, we dived into the Power mod and got it pretty much automated. I'm pretty sure everything is all set up. I've got all of my filters nice and in place. And this sets us up for something special, right? Because Nitro is one of the highest tier items that Power has. And it allows us to make some really nice generators with that high tier. But it does come at a cost, right? Of a nether star. For each set, we do need a nether star. And I was thinking, what's going to be a way to farm the wither? And there's several different ways to do it in this pack, but I was thinking a witherless wither farm is going to be one of the coolest ways. Now, bear with me. I will have to kill several withers in order for this to work. And when I say witherless, it's going to go into a simulation chamber. We are going to be taking over our witch data spot, which has been farming redstone and glowstone for quite a while. And we are going to be replacing this with a wither. Now, it is going to come at a cost, right? This gets significantly more expensive the higher and the longer this runs, right? So if we start off with a wither, I have no idea how expensive that is going to be in order to run. But if we need to, we can always make more magmators and hopefully increase the power output. And I'm hoping that this will work. So I've got a job to do, right? So let's take a look at hostile. I've covered this mod a little bit in the past. But yeah, model framework. We're going to be jumping right in and making ourselves a new data model. And then inside this, of course, we're going to put the data model. But first, we need to summon another wither. And we're going to be doing several withers, right? So I'm going to need several skulls and soul sand. Yep, I think at least getting the base amount done by hand, it shouldn't take too long, and then it's just a matter of leaving it in for it to work. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead. Let's see. Let's at least get our first wither set up. Go ahead and place these skulls. Be prepared. Boop. I think I can right click this. Yep. So the data model's in. Go ahead and put this in here. Put it in our offhand so we can see. And we have to kill 6 withers to really get on our feet here. Thankfully, it's pretty easy. And you notice how it said we need to kill 6 withers, right? Well, that just dropped 2. I don't know why, but sometimes if you attack fast enough with this mod, it sometimes thinks that you've killed more than you actually have. And this is a thing that I had found out a long time ago when fighting the dragon. If you glitch out the dragon while it's in its death phase, it technically counts towards how many you've killed. So if I spam click this incredibly fast, like it just did, we had 6, now we're down to 4. So maybe we can get this down to 2, and we only have to kill 3. So, oh, in that case, it was 3. So yeah, you'd have to land your hits just right in order for this to work properly. So all I need is technically 1 more wither kill, and this thing becomes basic. Look at that, we ended up killing, it acted like it killed 2 there, which is kind of interesting. So now that we have this done, we should be able to take that new data model and apply it and start actually getting nether stars. Yeah, this thing is in basic, which means, oh man, the simulation cost right there. Whoo! 2,560 FE per tick to run. And I believe it will get more and more expensive the longer we keep it in. So let's hope that this actually pays for itself. I mean, it should inevitably pay for itself, right? Because if we're able to make nitro crystals, we should be able to make the higher tier generators, which should easily generate enough power to do this. I think 1 nitro, right? Magmator, 1 nitro magmator produces like 20,000 RF per tick. So yeah, I don't think this is going to be that big of a deal. So let's go ahead and swap this in and put this in here. And as you can see, the model accuracy on this is not very high, only 6.42%. And what's going to happen is we should get those building up inside, and I'm going to need to open up the plate and get our importer set up so that way we can start importing those predictions. Now, while that's up and running, I have had it planned to further myself into R's, right? I need to get the tier 3 spellbook, and to do that, well, it's going to require a little bit of other magic, right? We're going to have to summon ourselves a Wilden, and this thing it's a Wilden Chimera, I believe. This thing we're going to have to fight. It has multiple stages. It is a really cool boss, and we're probably going to annihilate it. Yeah, we're going to end up wrecking it. But at least it will give us access to a lightning spell that I kind of want to test out and see if we can't potentially get the catalyzing glands, or the gland, the what is it, storm gland or storm? I can look it up here. Storm, this right here, Eye of the Storm? Yeah, which comes from a charged creeper, which we should be able to do once we get a lightning spell that we can use once we have this upgraded to the next tier. So now to summon this thing, it's actually not that difficult. We have ourselves the brazier and or brazier. I always call it a brazier. That's definitely not the same thing. But we place this in, and then we augment it by tossing these 3 items in, and then activate it. And by doing so, we have summoned a Wilden, and I have a feeling we are going to annihilate this thing. Yep. So this is it. And you don't want to do this at your base. Oh my gosh, I've already done the majority of the damage. You don't want to do this at your base, because this guy, when it does change forms, one of their forms can actually break blocks in your base. Look at that. Look at this guy. Look at this. Look at him running after me. Charging up like he's going to do something. Do it. Do it. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. Well, normally this is a really cool fight, you know, if you're not super OP and freezing them. Also has multiple stages, and could have more stages than 2. That was kind of interesting that it only had 2 stages. But this is the item we need in order to upgrade our book. And as if we weren't powerful enough, let's just give me some more spells, you know? It's oh my god. And here we go, upgrading to the Archmage spellbook. Yes, there we go. We now have even more capabilities. So of course, right-clicking on here, we now get access to all of these different things. And at the moment, they're not easy to craft. Like, none of these things are incredibly easy to craft, because it requires all of these essences. And you know what? One thing I haven't really set up is a good way to generate source. And I think I should definitely fix that. So my plan here to help boost the source is to go with this volcanic source link. So hear me out. I am slowly but surely getting this all set up. What I have planned, right, is to provide coal using all of these. So at the moment, let's see, we have a little bit of coal. I think charcoal is probably going to be the best route for this, but for right now, I'll just go with coal. And I'm going to place this inside of an exporter. This is going to push into these arcane pedestals. And this is going to generate the mana, right? And that's going into the volcanic source links, or getting consumed by the source links, filling up the jars. And speaking of jars, I have a few source jars right here, and I'm actually just going to place them on top, and this should start filling the jars. And what should happen is I have all these imbuement chambers set up with all these arcane pedestals, and we should be able to get this stuff on tap on craft. Like, we should be able to craft these, all of these essences right here that we're going to need in order to craft just about every single spell available that's left. And yeah, this should be doable. I just need to get all of the base items, and then I need another imbuement chamber over here somewhere that is just going to be producing the crystals needed. So this won't be the prettiest setup in the world, but at least it will get me these items. I don't need these items forever, just sort of need to get them now. And we should have enough for later. Like, you really only need a small amount, I would say, of these items we're about to be generating to be able to complete ours. This right here is going to be how I set up lapis. So I'm going to send lapis into this barrel right here. That is going to go into here, and this is going to start generating, and it should be pulling from a source jar. Maybe I need to make sure this source jar is a little bit closer. Is that close enough? That should be close enough. Okay. And this should also fill. Yeah, fill as well. But what I need to do is I need to export from here. And this is where things are going to get a little bit interesting. I'm going to be pulling specifically the gem that is out of here. And I need to send that gem to all of these other imbuement chambers. And what I'm going to probably have to do, I hope this is going to be fast enough just using one. But all of these should be able to be sent this. Just like so. Like I said, not the prettiest setup in the world. There we go. I should be able to set up like a round robin system. So if I set this to extract, it's going to automatically pull out. I do not want it to do that. Let's actually go ahead and take this lapis out real quick. So it doesn't just start spilling lapis. And we are going to set this like so. And then put the upgrade in, and I believe we can change the distribution to round robin. So it's going to try and send to one, then send to the other, and so on and so forth. And that should be the, yeah, that should totally work. Actually, I might need to upgrade this to the next tier. Yep, looks like I'm going to have to do that. Because we need filtering capabilities, and I think the diamond tier is the only one that has the filtering capabilities. So, still the same, right? We need to set this to round robin, but now we need to open up the filter, and we need to filter out specifically the one item we need. And that means I'm going to have to turn this off right now while this filters out. There we go. Let's go ahead and generate that item, because we're going to need it for the filter, I believe, unless... Yeah, we'll take the source gem out. Probably could have just used JEI now that I think about it. Toss that in. Set a filter. Set it to leave it a whitelist, I believe. I think this is automatically on whitelist. Set that, submit. That should be good. And now it should only pull that out. Yes. Okay. So yeah, otherwise it would have tried to pull out the lapis, but it's not. So there we go. So that is going to continue to pull out. And as you can see, it should round robin and send these items over here. Now on the bottom of these, this is where things are going to get a little bit more complicated, because I am going to be setting up the refined storage network on all of these underneath. And what I need to do is have one of each essence, and I'm going to use that as an import filter. And so I'm going to be using importers, and we're going to set up some automation for this essence. So yes, I am capable of making noodly wires and cables, and yes, definitely messing things up here. But you know, it does work. It does work. I have everything working. I have this set to whitelist mode. This one not. This one should be set to whitelist. For example, this one whitelist, and so this should, if all set properly, yep, should work. And we have round robin, and we have this all pumping out, and hopefully that will get me at least a decent amount of essence. Of course, this is going to all be hidden underneath the floor. So let's go ahead and grab some archwood, and boop. You would never even know it existed, other than the fact that we can see through the blocks, because to interact with these blocks, you have to see underneath them, because they don't take up a solid block space, full block space. But yeah, I think that is just about it. I mean, this is all nice and set up and automated. And so I should start seeing essence roll in. So yep, I'm seeing I have 4 earth essence. So we got a water essence. Yeah, everything seems to be going in. I don't see air essence being produced. For whatever reason, there is a wing. Do I have the recipe set up correctly over here? So I wonder, do these work? Nothing's gone in there. So let's take a look at ours. And I'm going to place this in here. Ah, okay. Craft air essence. Add source nearby. I mean, we do have source right here, but I guess it's not enough to reach, which is kind of interesting. But also, it doesn't seem like it's round robbing enough. Okay, so let's talk about how we move source. Now, to help get source a little bit closer, we can use source relays. These are really, really handy. So I went ahead and just placed that there. I'm going to place a jar over here. And then we need to use the Dominion wand to select the jar and then to link. And now this jar is linked to this relay. And then we need to right click the relay and link it to the source jar that we want it to transfer source to. So as you can see, it is filling this jar up, which should mean this should now be able to work. My question is also, I wonder, is there enough to allow this one to work over here as well? Because it may not. Can we also set another location for this? So I guess not. So we can only have one location per relay. And I think there is a way to, there's definitely more than just this relay when it comes to sending mana around. And I believe there's one that can actually distribute. So I guess at the moment, I'm just going to be using these for right now. And these kind of get the job done for what I need. So over here, I'll link this one to here and then link that to this jar just to make sure everything is working. And then essence. Okay, it looks like we are now getting everything. Yeah, there's the conjurer. Perfect. I think everything now has enough essence. Now it's just a matter of making sure that there is enough coal. Now I just noticed that a ton more spells were definitely added here. I mean, just look at these. There's so many spells now that I did not see before that I believe were added via the, let's see, Ars Elemental, I believe. Yeah, I think that definitely added some. But anyways, the main one that I'm after is this lightning. I really want to test this out. So let's go ahead and craft this bad boy. All right, so lightning, select. It's going to pull all the items out of the chest. And we should be ready to go. Look at that, we got a spooky boy over here. Straight up went into this beehive. What? All right, so glyph of lightning. Let's go ahead and learn that. And I want to kind of make a spell here. Let's see, let's go ahead and take over this. We don't need this anymore. We should do projectile. And then we'll have the lightning hit. And that's all I want. That's all I want. I want it to hit a creeper, strike it with lightning, so that way I can kill it. But I don't want it to kill it from the lightning. I don't want the creeper to die from the lightning. So let's see if this is possible. I believe it's night. There's a creeper right there. Oh, perfect. Oh my, I just got 10 Eye of the Storm from one creeper. This sword is just broken. This sword is absolutely broken. Well, with that, I am now able to make all of the reliquary things that I have been just dying to make. That is wicked. And we have this really sick lightning spell that I can literally use on anything. And there's some other things we can do too. I think making one of the... Whoa, that is sick. One of the cool... That's so cool. One of the cooler damage spells, and that does involve lightning. Now that I'm looking at this stuff, do I see a homing projectile as something that has been added here? And it says right here, it says for mod packers, consider disabling this or making the recipe harder if Ars Omega is not loaded. What? This is okay. Like, this already is crazy, but this spell? I mean, don't get me wrong, this costs a nether star, but I mean, that is a sick thing to have homing. Have it like any projectile you fire can attack any mob. So, for example, I can now set this, instead of normal projectile, set it to a homing projectile, and then hit it with the lightning. I mean, this just got a whole lot more interesting. I'm kind of interested to see how the homing, because I've kind of always wanted a homing projectile, sort of, for this. Oh my, it's straight up curved. It's straight up curved. What? That's kind of powerful. Oh my. No wonder it costs another star. Okay. I'm getting ahead of myself. The whole reason why I set out to get that lightning, right, was so that way we can get into the reliquary and we can actually utilize the Eyes of the Storm to make this thing. The Tome of Alcastry, I believe it's pronounced. Now, I believe I can just up and make it. Pretty powerful, right? Well, let's take some redstone, right? Redstone. And I think we shift right click and it's going to consume all the redstone in our inventory. And it's going to start building up. Now, this is why I had a witch inside of this machine, inside of the simulation chamber for so long. So that way I could have tons of redstone to pump into this potentially, if I need it on demand. Now, we are producing nether stars through this method, which is pretty cool. Actually, let's take a look. Wither, I should have a bunch of wither predictions. Each one of these wither predictions, there's 150. Holy smokes, this is already at superior. I wonder how expensive this actually is to run. It doesn't say. 2,560. Okay, it's getting up there. Whew. So wither prediction can go in here, choose another star, and we have potentially 140 something nether stars in there. But if we didn't have that going, we should be able to take this, combine it with a nether star to duplicate the nether stars. Yes, this is a way that you can duplicate certain things. And now it does tell you in here all of the things that you can potentially duplicate. You want to duplicate clay? Do it. It's not going to cost that much to do that. This is about as close as you're going to get in this pack to Project E, right? It can duplicate some items in exchange for redstone and glowstone. Pretty sick, if I do say so myself. And yeah, all it takes is some redstone, which we get for free. Yeah, that's pretty sick. Now there is one last thing I want to do, and that is, since I had the wither started, let's go ahead and get ourselves a wither skeleton started. And this is going to basically allow us to produce infinite coal. So yeah, I know that the nether, like, we're not going to leave the wither running forever, but I would like to leave this running for a little while, because this is just produce like 32 coal, like, for every prediction this thing produces, and we can easily kill these things in the other. And so after just a couple of kills, this thing is ready to rock and roll. So I'm gonna put that in there. Already it's at superior. Yeah, it's at superior. It'll go to the next level pretty quick. But yeah, this is plenty. I think this should already generate. Let's see. We need prediction. There's a wither skeleton prediction. So I'll just put the wither skeleton predictions in here. And I think all the nether stars are already produced. And there's all the nether stars, by the way. Now that this is going to go in here after the wither predictions are done producing. These should go in next. And I'm going to select coal. And coal is going to keep this all over here powered, producing a ton of essence for us. Now, of course, I didn't forget the ultimate goal of today's video, and that was to get started on the Nitro crystals. Now, let's take a look at our Nitro, right? And what is it going to take to craft? Let's just go ahead and get started with one. It makes 16, I believe, off of this one. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's start this and get the process started. It is going to automatically start producing these, which is what is going to be required to go into this. And these are going to be the limiting factor, right? I believe their max output might end up shutting down all of my power systems, depending on how fast this is. But yeah, this right here looks like it's jumping. Looks like we have enough power. I don't have much of a power buffer, but yeah, the ultimate goal is to put these items in right here. There we go. And it's going to take 20 million FE to produce the Nitro, the 16 Nitro. But that is going to be totally worth it because my ultimate goal is to increase these to Nitro tier. Of course, we're going to have to go through all the other tiers. But my goal is to upgrade these to Nitro. They'll be producing 20,000 plus RF each, which is a lot of power, especially if you're not like really messing with mechanism. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Of course, there was a lot that went on today. And of course, I understand if it was maybe a little confusing, but we did a lot. And I think that I tried my best to kind of cover some of the odd and end things that there were to cover, such as R's and stuff like that. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Now, of course, it is World Download Day, so be sure to get your World Download if you are a supporter of any tier, whether that is on Twitch, on Patreon, or on Discord. Be sure to get access to that. All of that is done through the Discord and handled through the Discord. If you need help figuring out how to do that, there is an FAQ on my Discord, which is super helpful. You can find that down in the description below, or you can go to discord.gg/ChosenArchitect. Yeah, hop in the world and play around with all these fun things that I've been setting up, and enjoy the time that I spent, you know, setting all this up for you guys. It's kind of like a modded playground. But of course, guys, it's of course not done unless I thank the supporter of today's video. And that huge thanks is going to be going to Burning General. Thank you so much for your amazing support, by the way, over on the Discord, becoming a Discord premium member, and of course, getting your world download. Guys, I really appreciate it. I will see you in the next episode. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.